Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Cast Revive, your weekly top 5 gaming podcast, and more. I'm your host, Matt Heimerl, and here with the American version of Chef Ramsay, Brian Husky.
My breath is really garlicky.
Yeah.
I think it's making the mic sound worse.
Just pounded down some serious garlic wings, and they're really good. They're legit.
Pretty good.
And we're continuing our food month because it is November. And we have some really...
I love this. It's November.
It's November, so we're talking about
food.
But this week specifically, we're talking about uses. Last week we did methods of food in games. Now we're going to talk about uses.
This is the Earthbound soundtrack, more or less. This is the Choose a File song.
Ooh.
But Earthbound has some pretty cool food in it because you mix food with condiments and it helps the healing item. You know?
Oh, nice.
You know, you have a hamburger, and you get 30 hit points, but then you add ketchup and mayo to it, and you get 60 hit points.
That's right. That ketchup and mayo combo, a little bit of pepper on there. You make that special sauce. Ooh,
yeah.
Gets me started.
Does get you started. Let's get started.
Let's start with a quick little news thingy I'm very excited about. The NES Mini was just released, and I'm super excited. I was down at Free Play over the weekend, and they actually...
You're a sucker.
Yes, that is true. But they actually had one on display, and the thing is a lot smaller than I thought it was. It's literally this big.
Oh, really?
I know you can't see it on an audio podcast, but it was a lot smaller
as big
than
as
I
the
thought.
recording device that we use.
And but it's sold out everywhere. It is just going like hotcakes. So
that's a good sign.
Yeah. So I mean, and it looked really cool. And a lot of people are like, I have all these games and Nintendo, all these different devices. But I mean, for people who can't afford a Wii, who can't afford to buy all those extra games, it's if people are retro is starting to really make a comeback. Nintendo's really pushing this. So if somebody's just I want to get back into playing these games again, but I don't want to buy a $300 Wii U because it's going to be discontinued soon. And then have to drop $5-10 per game to get 30 different games. $60 gets you 30 different games. You can have save states.
Yeah,
it's HDMI. So and it's the biggest complaint is the controller is literally 2 feet long. It's a really short length controller, which does suck.
The controller cord, you mean?
The controller cord, yes. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like a 2 foot long controller. How do you play that?
But there is a $20 peripheral you can buy to make it wireless. But if you're playing old school games, you want to have it wired. But I think they're making an adapter to where you can plug it in and it converts it to an old NES controller thing. So you can use your old NES controllers if you have them, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
So that's really it for my news. I mean that's huge to me because I've been wanting for this for a long time. Even though I have all those games on my Wii console and on the actual cartridges themselves. I still want to get it. I'm a big fan of Nintendo, and I'm a big fan of retro, and I'm a big fan of everyone that agrees and disagrees with me. Man,
yeah,
I'm a little burpy, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Anything from BlizzCon?
Yeah,
that we wanna throw out there.
Yeah, BlizzCon announced a whole bunch of stuff. Go check it out.
Nice.
We're really excited about Diablo 3 adding a Diablo 1 mode. Wish it was a whole game, but still cool with this. And we're also excited about I'm speaking for Matt. That the the Necromancer from D2 is being added.
And it looks like it's going to be really cool how they're doing it. They're going to make it the monk style with the active and passives, and you can really kind of set. It's not just going to be like the Witch Doctor. I have a bunch of guys, everybody go attack. You can actually give assignments to who you want to do.
Tell your
what.
skeleton to go mess with this guy.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that works out. So
I hope they do Iron Golem differently. Because you could lose a lot of legendaries to Iron Golems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to have the revival. You can actually bring back the actual creatures themselves, not just the skeletal versions.
So
if they have that, yeah.
Don't they have doesn't the class already have revive something? No? Am I wrong?
In
you
D2?
played more Diablo 3 than I have.
Oh, in Diablo
lately.
3, they didn't. The Witch Doctor didn't have an actual...
Crusader? Doesn't the Crusader get a revive thing?
Oh, I think they have a chance to convert. Yeah.
Oh,
I
convert.
think you're right.
Okay,
I think they have a chance to actually.
Convert.
Yes, you are right. Yes. So
I'm interested in the curses coming back, and I'm interested in a huge skeleton army.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Yeah, absolutely. Iron.
We'll see if I get
Iron
that.
Maiden. That thing was legit. If they bring Iron Maiden back the way it was in D2, that's going to be it's going to be chaos.
I played like a lot of Poison and Bone Necro until I realized I could just be playing a wizard.
Yeah.
Corpse
Explosion. Are they going to have Corpse Explosion back? Is it literally going to be a remake of the D2 character?
It looks pretty legit.
Yeah, I mean, a Poison Nova Corpse Explosion build was so much fun. Bone Prison, just endless amounts of fun. So that should be coming out hopefully pretty soon, along with Sombra. So which we talked about last time.
Yeah,
so.
in case you couldn't tell, we're Blizzard fanboys.
Yes, we are.
Sorry.
So
I'm not going to apologize for that.
No, never.
Yeah.
We're gaming fanboys, so it's just the way it is. We like games and games like us. Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. You gonna start playing Hearthstone, Matt?
Hearthstone never really sucked me in.
I would play Hearthstone if I could play directly against you, which I think I can.
I think you can,
but that's that's where my interests lie. I don't
want to play.
I don't want to do dailies, play random people, and spend 10 to 20 minutes losing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I grew up playing Magic the Gathering heavily, and I'm done playing against randoms.
You're used to losing.
Yeah, I am used to losing. So I had a few decks that were kind of nice, but for the most part, yeah. I mean,
a lot of decks that are kind of nice.
Yeah,
Minotaur deck, didgeridoo. Why does a didgeridoo summon a Minotaur?
I don't know. My didgeridoo. Wow, that's a blast from the past. My didgeridoo deck. Jeez. Yeah, we had some interesting concepts for decks. That's for sure.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and jump into this our top 5 uses here. I'm pretty excited to go through this list.
Let's do it.
You're going to start off.
Right? As always.
As always.
No.
Best goes first.
If this list starts to sound familiar to last week, it's because there's not a real big distinction between methods and foods, like uses and foods. It's just we wanted to talk about food for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
But we got some cool ones on here, though.
Oh, these are great ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start us off with Kirby's Cookpot from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, I think, which was his finishing smash move. If you couldn't track down the ball and destroy it. Kirby slams on a pot, and he sucks in everyone near it, and they all take a lot of damage, and at the end, the pot lid comes off, and everybody shoots out of it.
Get lost!
as a really powerful attack potential finisher, that's what I went with my number 5. I never really liked to play Kirby, but this move was always very bad for me because I always played as light characters, like Mr. Game & Watch, Lucas.
Yeah.
Olimar. Olimar, thank you.
You were good with Olimar.
I love.
I never could get him, but man, to throw those damn little things at me, and I think, God, stop it! Like the red one would catch me on fire. And,
yeah, Olimar is great. His special is just.
Thing about Brian is Brian is a very strategic defensive player. He lets people go at it, and then you're just like you kind of forget he's there, and then at the end you're just like he has all of his lives. This sucks. And then he just comes and just wipes out who's ever left.
That's what I do with everything. If someone else is in the game with like 2 other people playing the game with me, I'm just like, you guys do what you're gonna do, and I'll just pick on the loser, the winner.
Which is what is good because you pick the smaller lighter character, like you say, they don't have a large presence on like a Ganondorf or a King Dedede,
You can tell when I don't care because I'll pick Bowser, just like
Yeah, it's like, all right, I'll think Bowser. He's going to go offensive on this one. You fly off the map. He's like, oops. But when Kirby uses his ultimate and they fly out, doesn't a bunch of food fly out of the thing for you to regain health? Or am I thinking of something else?
Is that random? I know Peach summons a bunch of peaches to eat.
Might be that.
But I'm not sure about the Cookpot. Like I said, don't really use Kirby that much, but I've seen this used on me a lot, and I have a little bit of respect for it.
It's got a wide box, too. I mean, when you use it, you don't have to be right against it. I mean, it will literally suck dudes off the map. So
you were getting in there. You were getting in that pot.
That's a good number 5.
Thanks,
anything Kirby's legit. So
Yeah. Plus, Smash has that chili power up, which gives you the fire breath, which is really cool.
Which is so annoying when you're trying to hang on the ledge. You're just staying there.
Yeah, because you get thrown off, and then you
because it has that wide cone. It's not just like a straight thing. It's just you're just sitting there watching the percentage go up. I need to play some Smash. That's fun.
Smash. The game will make you hungry with all the food in it.
Yeah, I like it.
Maxim tomato.
Yeah, I tell you. I'm going to get a tomato. I'll be right back.
Okay. Eat a whole tomato on the podcast.
Put a little bit of salt on it. Chomp into it. There you go. So my number 5, we're going to a dark
place.
We're going to a dark place, man. We're going to go to Streets of Rage. And the reason I picked this is because what better place to pick up chicken on the ground that was living in a trash can and eat it to get your health back?
Chicken living in...
I mean, you literally you pick up a trash can, you smash it on someone, and a full chicken falls out of it. You're just like, this is awesome. You pick it up and you get your health back. Like you're literally eating trash in this game. So it's
so eat trash to regain your health.
But there are a lot of games that did that. Turtles had the pizza on the ground, I mean, that's acceptable for them. But it's like, like
because they live in the sewers.
Yeah, I mean, like Streets of Rage, Fatal Fury. I mean, Final Fight. You had these food items that were just on the ground. Castlevania had a pork chop in the wall.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm going to break this wall. Oh, man, I don't know how long that's been there. Let's go ahead and eat this.
It got to be good.
But it was just interesting how, how they did that. So I just started out kind of gross, and that definitely works.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Was chicken the only thing? Just a whole chicken?
No, I think there were other food items as well, but the chicken always stuck. Cause that's how I looked for it, because I was always getting the crap kicked out of me.
Chicken was
so I
like
was like,
the
come on, chicken.
Cool.
I think it was like a chicken leg and like a full chicken, and there might have been like a potato or something like that. So it was like
two chickens.
So it's like, it's almost like a Thanksgiving meal, if you don't eat turkey.
If all you do is go to KFC for Thanksgiving, it's a complete Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah. I love Streets of Rage, though. Yeah, it's a really, really great series.
This is the one with Skate?
No, I picked the very first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you stayed in the series.
Yeah.
You're just going to go through them all.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, gosh, that was a quick number 5.
That was a quick number 5.
That was a quick end to that song.
Not too much I could expand upon eating chicken out of a trash can. So
that's fine. So we have health game. We got a powerful attack. What about food as an enemy?
Ooh.
I
like where we're going with our number 4.
Pizza the Hut from Spaceballs.
Ooh.
No, just kidding. If we were like a movie podcast.
There should have been a Spaceballs game, because then we could have used it.
Was there?
Maybe there was. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a PC, like a DOS PC game where it's Spaceballs.
Somebody like made a
a point and click adventure type game.
God, that would be awful.
I gotta look into that now. I'm gonna have to do that.
Jewish princess. The Bunt Cake boss from Super Mario RPG.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
So you go to like a wedding. You go to Booster and Peach's wedding. Peaches, Toadstool, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's Toadstool in it anyway. So Booster and Toadstool get married in Marrymore, or are about to get married, until Booster realizes how boring it would be. And you still get to have cake at the wedding.
Nice.
You fight the Bunt Cake guy.
So when you hit him, pieces of his cake fall out and you get to eat it?
That'd be nice. But he has a couple stages. So like you beat him up for a little bit, and then like he's got like candles on his head.
Oh, nice.
And I think the candles signify like his attack or like his life. I can't remember which way. But you start beating him up and he's falling apart. And
nice.
He looks really weird because Super Mario RPG, some of the bosses had like that image effect where they would just like shift back and forth between two images, and that's how they would move.
Right.
So this cake is like wiggling back and forth, and it's got this like weird mouth on the top. It's like it looks super weird.
You just have someone sitting in the corner with their knife and fork, just like, I'm ready.
It always made me like hungry for cake, and I'm not like a big cake guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I am. I guess if there's cake around, I'll eat it. Does that make you a cake guy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, if you enjoy cake, I love cheesecake. I will wreck some cheesecake.
My mom makes good cheesecake.
Well, maybe she needs to make some for next D&D.
Yeah, I'll tell her.
Hey, Ma!
You're playing what?
I want to play Super Mario RPG very badly.
You need to.
I'm seriously considering doing it on stream.
Yeah.
Because I would really like to go through. It would be a blind playthrough.
Would you lead with that? Would you be like, I'm a new streamer, Super Mario RPG?
Well, I'll probably I might do that during the day because, like I said, 9 to 2, I'm gonna do basically what I want. And like if there's viewers, I'll play with them. But at night, I'm gonna set aside to play with you guys different games, whether it be Overwatch, Battlefield, Diablo, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, whatever we decide to play. So that way I can kind of switch it up to both. But I definitely want to go through some of these games that I now have the opportunity to actually have a backlog. Let me actually go through and play them.
That's true. You're going to have a lot of time to play games.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to actually be able to do that. So,
Bundcake boss? Bundcake boss?
Bundcake boss?
Bunt?
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 What do you say?
Bunt?
Bunt?
Bunt and bunt are acceptable.
Bunt?
It's like the guys I interviewed at Free Play said instead of missile command, it's missile command. So
Missile command.
yeah, and he says over in England it's missile.
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 Yeah.
Missiles.
It was an interesting interview. I say when I put that together and let everybody hear it, it's fascinating stuff into the arcade and pinball world.
Right.
You know what else is just as fascinating?
I don't know.
Because you were just talking about like
Bunt cakes.
Well, food as enemies in a game.
Yes.
And that kind of leads into my number 4.
Does it?
Because I picked Burger Time.
Oh.
So you're being chased.
Wieners.
Being chased by wieners. You're being chased by eggs.
Mr. Hot Dog and Mr. Egg.
Yeah, and you're using a burger as a weapon. So if they're underneath the bun or the lettuce or whatever the ingredients, you can crush them. So using food, I mean, that has it both. You know, using food as a weapon, and you're fighting enemies that are food. And you're a chef, and you have pepper to kind of knock them out.
You have the pepper, the disorienting pepper.
But it's like if you're a cook, it's like pepper goes on like everything. So a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. So
like in Burger Time, if you were to like crush a hot dog, would that burger then have a hot dog on it? I'm assuming those giant burgers get served up somewhere.
I would assume so. Probably has some remnants of.
So you get like a hot dog on there. You get like the egg. So you have like a hot dog and egg burger.
It'd be a ham dog.
Ham dog.
Or a dogger.
Dogger.
Dogger with lettuce and tomato.
Hot dogger.
Flogger. Like a food logger with
food vlogger. Where is this going? The music's like really creepy, and you're like, vlogger.
It's Burger Time has been on so many. It's been in the arcade. It's been on consoles. I mean, it's been. I still wish it was on my phone. I would love to play that game on like. I think it'd be such a fun game to play on like a touchscreen, like with your finger. You're moving the dude around, like yeah. But,
I remember the cover to Burger Time because the food enemies had like faces on them, and it was like back in that like 80s style of drawing where
creepy.
It was just very creepy and
like
realistic.
Those eggs
looking.
are not cooked all the way.
And they're very angry.
Where are the scrambled eggs? I don't like easy over.
Easy over? Over easy?
Over easy, easy over.
Do you say easy over?
I say...
You go to 2J's and you're like, I gotta get eggs easy over.
Yeah, I say easy over. People say over medium. People say, everybody looks at me and thinks it's from up. I gotta say from up north.
I gotta say from up north.
Yeah. So, can I get scrapple and eggs? Yeah, over easy. So, it's good stuff.
That's good.
Burger Time, number 4. Great game. Play it and eat while you're playing it.
Somebody should redo it, right? Except the chef is Mario. Because why not? And Bunt Cake should show up and chase you. And you slam him into a burger. And then you'd have a burger and bunt cake.
I would allow that.
Ham bunt cake.
And take the character from Burger Time and put him in Smash.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Chef Pepper.
Chef Pepper?
What's his name?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It could be Chef Pepper, actually.
What's his name?
I don't know. Chef Pepper?
Pepper Pete? Peter Pepper?
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers,
Peter
how many
Pepper?
peppers would Peter Piper pick? Look at that. I just kicked it old school flawlessly.
And I was just like yammering onto myself so I didn't hear any of that.
Pepper, pickle, pepper.
It was Peter Pepper.
There you go.
It was Chef Peter Pepper.
Look at that.
That's
why I call you knowledge.
That's why I have the internet now. Brain is so fried lately.
Google is my
remember I did that bean teeth on Burger Time.
That's right, yes.
Had to look at it.
Go to geekstreetstation.com
Fresh in my
and be
head.
sure to read all of Brian's bean teeth.
That's right.
They're
do that.
Freaking money.
I got to write a new one.
Already on that try.
I know. Monster Hunter try.
Ooh.
Yeah, see, I did it again.
I love it. Dude,
correlation.
You're now in full control of this podcast.
Monster Hunter features a lot of food.
Yes, it does.
Okay. My favorite use for it is before you go out onto your quest, buffing part where the cat feeds you.
Yes.
You're presented with like a list of like grains, veg, meat, dairy, I think, and then you get to choose 2 of those and put them together, and they give you a buff for your adventure.
Depending on the combination that you do, you get different buffs.
You can get bad ones.
Yeah.
You can get ones where it like reduces your health by half, which is awful. You can get ones that give you 50 more health, more stamina. You can get really specialized buffs like wind won't knock you back.
Oh, okay.
So like if a wyvern is landing, it does this like like a gust of wind, and usually if you get too close, you get blown back. It's like a little stun, but you can get a food buff that prevents you from having that. You can get ones that help you gather material. You get like extra gathering from a location, or extra carbs, or a little bit of like you won't catch on fire if you get a fireball thrown at you. So it's really neat.
Yeah, what mission you're going on, you can really
things.
Customize and choose what you want.
Exactly. And as like the games progress, like from Monster Hunter 1 onward, like the food, like eating the food, got like a lot better, just a lot more intuitive. Another use for food is to regain your stamina when you're out in the field. And you get a little barbecue spit, and you get a little mini game. You like turn them into the spit, and it's like and you have to time it just right, and you can get a well done steak that gives you a lot of stamina, or you can get a burnt meat, which gives you none.
Yeah.
But the result of any of those you can use in the game's combination feature. So you can combine the well done steak with something else, and you get like a tonic that refills your health and stamina like the whole way.
Nice.
You can combine the raw meat with poison or sleeping herb or paralysis herb.
Oh yeah,
and then you put the meat. Yeah, you put it in like a trap, You put it in a trap for a wyvern, and if the wyvern lands and doesn't notice you, he'll go and eat the meat, and he'll get poisoned or paralyzed or put to sleep, and you can like go over there and hit him with your sword, like
go over and coup de grace.
I'm so glad you can't do that, because then it would be really.
It would be cheap.
Really cheap. So really unfun, and then just really terrible, because I mean, Monster Hunter is kind of like animal cruelty,
Just run up. The monster was just sleeping.
Yeah.
He's just sleeping. You just stabbed him through the brain.
Yeah, and they have these stories where the wyverns are attacking towns or whatever, but you never see it happen.
Yeah.
So are they really that bad?
I'd be worried about the cats that steal your shit when you're out in the field.
The thieving cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, coup de grace them.
Exactly. And that old man is just taking advantage of you because he's too old to do anything. Exactly. Yeah, it's like a Jim Henson creation.
Yeah. Just like the fact that they have no voiceover is just great. Like, what the hell was that?
Hi. Yeah. So good.
Good truth. I'm glad Monster Hunter made your list, because that's gotta have them hard tacks.
We've talked about it before, but it's still a great game, and there's a lot of stuff in it, which is why it's a great game. There's so many aspects.
We'll see if the Switch ends up bringing a new one. Hopefully, it'll come to like Xbox or PlayStation. Like, I'd like to have them on other than Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because PS2 is where it originated for us.
If they release a new Monster Hunter on the Switch, I may check it out. But right now, not too interested in it.
Yeah, I agree.
Trying to stay away from it.
Yeah.
A Skyrim port is not enough to get this guy to buy a whole system.
Yeah, because you just got it for.
I just got it for Xbox.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm set.
Nice.
What you got?
Fat Princess.
Oh, I love this game.
This game was addicting. Our friend Scott actually told me about it, and I got my wife involved into playing it, and she actually became like legit at it. And what you would do is, you had all these different classes like wizard, worker, stuff like that. You had to build up your base and go over and capture the enemy's princess and bring it back to yours. And what you could do is you would get this cake and feed her, and she would get really overweight, essentially making her harder to move.
Yeah.
So if she didn't have any cake, you could pick her up and literally just haul ass.
Yeah.
But if she ate it all and she was really big, you would like really, really slow carrying her. So you have your team to really help you out. Such a fun game.
Capture the flag with the fat girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you had catapults built, you could stand in it with her and you'd launch over. It's just hilarious.
I played the logger.
Is
Is that a thing that you can play?
The worker.
The worker?
Yeah.
I would just stay in the base and do the working stuff.
Yeah, because you would repair the doors, you would upgrade all the shops.
Yep.
I mean, everybody had their own role, and you would throw the bombs. That was your attack. So
that was such a neat concept.
You had a priest, both a good priest and like a dark priest that would like drain life. The elementalist, which is what I always was.
Yeah.
You had a barbarian, like a warrior. You had a ranger.
Yep. Shoots and a rogue. Right? Do you have a little stabby guy?
I think so. I think you're right. Well, I know in the expansion they made a giant and a ninja and a pirate.
Yeah.
I know the ninja could stealth to like one hit kill you from behind. The giant, you could eat people and regain your life, and then the pirate would call in like these bombardments. You know, for like their big.
That's what pirates do in video games all the time. They're just like, oh, let me hail my ship from 40 miles away from the coast. Oh, it's a cannonballs.
It's just such a shame that the game just it did really well and then it just kind of dropped off.
It did really well and then it dropped.
Yeah, it started losing any kind of like support from the developers, and they weren't updating it, and people just kind of. But man, such a fun game.
Yeah,
such a fun game. Easy to pick up, fun to play, just cartoon style violence, cell shaded type stuff, and just a lot of fun on the PS3.
So they're officially closing down the servers for this game next January. But if you have it installed on your system, you get to keep it. You get to play it offline, of course.
Yeah.
But or maybe like locally. I don't know. But the servers are going down.
The good thing is if you can still, even if nobody's playing, you can play against AI. So
that's
the
right.
teams are always there. You might not be playing against other people, but you can still get
the experience
fun.
of
the game. So crazy fun, a lot of maps, just a lot of really great times with it.
Take advantage of the 2 months that are left. Go out and play it a bunch, and maybe the developers will be like, "Hey,
there's a big surge of this. I would love a new console, Fat Princess.
Where'd this new resurgence come from?" We'll be like, "Well, we heard about it on Cast Revive."
They're like, "Well, we got to get these guys in the studio, bro."
They just take news and regurgitate it. They're the Huffington Post of the podcast industry.
That's what people like, though.
If that's our one contribution to society, saving Fat Princess, I'm
okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I'm all right with it.
Bring us out to Fat Princess Studios. Let's do it.
Fat Princess Studios. Makers of Fat Princess.
Whoever developed that game, I can't remember.
You should have looked it up as part of your research, Matt.
Oh.
Well,
I know about the game.
I know what the game is, all right?
Soundtrack was pretty good, too.
Okay. Titan Studios was the developer.
Titan Studios, that's right.
Yep.
Very good.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Sony Computer Entertainment was the publisher.
Nice.
Yeah.
Come on, Sony, get on it.
Published on the PlayStation 3. Released in 2009. God, I know. Old
7
game.
years ago. Jeez.
Yeah. 7 years that it's had a server up for it.
Yeah.
Resident Evil Outbreak closed down its server like 2 years after the game came out. Maybe even sooner.
And they're officially ending support when the next Final Fantasy 14 expansion comes out. PS3 support is officially dead.
Really?
Yeah. But what they're doing is they're giving people, if they get a 4, they're giving them free upgrades, so they don't have to buy the game again. They're just giving them free upgrades, which I got.
If they have the 4, they're allowed to get it.
Yeah, they'll have to get it for free. So, but yeah, they said because of how the expansion is, the PS3 just literally can't. It won't be able to handle, which I understand. I mean, and the game's been out for 2 years or something now, so it's hopefully people will be able to upgrade. So yeah, number 2, what you got there, Mr. Dancy Wiggle Wiggle Wiggle?
My number 2. What was your number 3?
Fat Princess.
It's just playing.
It was, but now it's more like Dead Princess.
It is more like Dead Princess. To go capture a skeletal princess.
You forgot to feed me.
Terrible. So if you're sick of hearing me talk about Fallout,
never.
Okay, I'm glad, because I'm going to talk about it some more.
Nice.
Fallout 3 New Vegas, which wasn't handled by Bethesda, it was handled by another studio. They introduced a survival mode for Fallout, and I think it still exists in Fallout 4, and I know that it's a popular mod for Skyrim, so it tells me that this is, a thing that people want, thing that people enjoy. So as a survival method, in Fallout 3, it's a nuclear wasteland. The food in these games has always been kind of lacking. Like it's like a health regain, right? You get some health, but you also get some rats. This gives you a new way of like making the game harder, I guess. So it's like a difficulty check. But like you have a thirst meter and you have a hunger meter, and when both of those are down, your stats go to hell.
Oh wow!
So, and the thing about stats in Fallout is they really do make a difference. You know, like you need, if your perception is 2, you don't see all the things that you could see. You don't, do as well in your combat.
Right.
So having that in place, kind of cool. Plus, it makes you want to go out and like investigate the world a little bit more. The only thing it does do is it kind of turns 75% of the game into like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm stockpiled with enough food and stuff to support me. But it encourages you to use things in the game that you wouldn't normally use, because when the food is just there to like regain your health, there are better ways to do it, like stim packs, resting in a bed, and stuff like that. So this is like, okay, now I have to actually go to this vendor, spend my caps, which I wouldn't normally do, just to get some honey for making my spit roasted bloatfly or whatever. Yeah, so good. And I like how food is treated in this game, because it is like a survival, it is like a wasteland, a post-apocalyptic or whatever. So the food is very weird, and you're eating a lot of things that you would normally not eat.
Right.
And Fallout New Vegas obviously takes place close to the Mojave Desert, so you're eating a lot of like desert food, like cactus and stuff.
Get that peyote going.
Yeah. Put a little bit of peyote in my orange juice.
Like, I'm seeing chicken wings everywhere.
Yeah, you see a lot of messed up stuff anyway.
That's true. You're just like, hopefully the peyote will level me out, because that dude literally has 3 heads and he's charging at me.
Yeah. So yeah,
Fallout's cool.
Fallout's great. This is, like I said, this one wasn't Bethesda, but I felt it was almost better than Fallout 3 in ways. It added a bunch of things that, like you play Fallout 3 and you're like, oh, I wish I had this, I wish it was this, I wish there was this. And then Fallout 3 New Vegas came along. It's like, here you go.
Yeah.
Plus, it had dynamite. I know you like dynamite.
I love dynamite. Yeah. I love blowing stuff up.
So you could have a demolition, explosions.
Nice.
What was your Fallout character?
My dude just murdered people. Like,
but how?
Melee. I was always melee. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and because I like the really slow like attacks, so you could like hit them in the head and like their head would like explode and stuff like that, Negan style.
Oh, Negan style. You like the VATS system?
That system, yeah. It's cool. I didn't play it as much as
you give bad a game, it's like, who can I kill?
Oh, pretty much. I mean, like, the Elder Scrolls series, I played through Oblivion, I played through Skyrim, but I played some of Fallout 3, and I've seen, I've watched, Fallout 4 and I played some when they put it up and they were like, it's a free download. So I was like, oh, I downloaded. I started playing. I was like, oh, wow, this is actually really cool. And then Ray called back, sorry for that error. It wasn't supposed to be free. Here's a $10 credit instead. Yeah. I'm like, all right, so I bought Rocket League. So
perfect.
Yeah. So, it's fun.
I think they're done with the expansions for it, the DLC for it. So you'll see like some pretty good deals.
Yeah, especially coming up with the holiday season. They'll probably have the full bundle. Yeah, so. But then I have to think about if I want to get it console, if I want to do PC, because now I can, gotta be the thing, decide what I want to do.
No, well, yeah, there is. Okay, I was gonna say, if you do it through Steam, there's no mod limit, but there's like 50 mods.
Oh, okay.
But then on Xbox One, it's like 3 gigs, 2 gigs, 2 or 3 gigs, maybe 5. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see.
Have fun with it.
We'll see whatever the better deal is, I should say. That's what I'll go with.
I'd like to see you roll an explosion.
I'll do it.
Explosion guy.
I'll do it on stream. You can guide me through it. You can guide me through it.
You do pickpocket and explosives. You can plant a grenade on someone. And then
really?
They're just like, huh? Oh, have a good day.
That's it. That's all I needed to hear. I would just sit there doing clips of that all day long. That is awesome. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Matty J gonna make a big bang in your pants.
That's what my dude would say too. Don't mind me.
I hope so.
Oh man, good stuff.
Thanks.
So I'm not going to spend too much time on my number 2 because
why not?
We already kind of talked about it. I picked Kirby as well.
Does it make you want to take a number 2?
It does. especially with the stuff that Kirby eats. And the reason I picked him is because I picked the original Game Boy, Kirby's Adventure, like the original Game Boy version, Kirby's Dreamland. I think that's what it was called in the Game Boy. And just a big dude sucking stuff in.
Yeah.
And regaining health. Like I thought, you just sucked it in, pressed down, and you regained health. And I just liked it because I really enjoy eating. And a lot of people say I don't really chew when I eat.
Yeah.
I kind of just
you're more of a Kirby.
Yeah. So so I can definitely relate to that.
I'd say it's more like a duck.
It's more like a duck. So it's just cool because Kirby, you would suck in food and you would gain life back, or an enemy and you would regain his power. So I just think he's all about eating stuff. So I had to have him in there because I'm all about eating, and he loves to try new things and sees what's going to happen. I'm the same way,
There's a subset of maybe adult stories on the internet called Vor, which is about people eating each other.
Really?
You into Vor?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But you know what? I've never tried it. So
is Kirby a cannibal?
Kirby could be.
I mean, is Kirby like a Kirby? Like is he like a? What is he? Is he a melon? Is he like a melon with a face?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
It's because like you eat like your enemies. You like suck them in or whatever. Or are they like made of dreams or some
and they're all
Japanese
just
thing?
they're all just sitting in his stomach acid, be like, just go. Why would you do this? Kill me first.
Does he poop? Because you suck him in, right, and you hit down, and a bunch of stars shoot out of Kirby, right?
I think that's probably what his poop is.
Pooping stars.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
So you go into the game in depth. It's pretty graphic.
Kirby's great.
You're just eating people and crapping them out and stealing their abilities.
Yeah. So that was the thing. That wasn't like a because I never played Kirby games. They're not my forte. But Super Smash Bros. You steal powers from the other characters, so that was always his thing.
Yeah.
You suck up a guy with a hammer, and then Kirby would get a hammer.
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy with a sword. There was ice guys. You would just and then you press down, and he would just transform into it. Then you have
frost breath.
You have his ability. Then you could do a combination of the controls and get rid of that star and then suck a new guy and stuff like that. So
suck a new guy.
Yeah, and there are so many different abilities, and each Kirby kind of introduced new mechanics, ways to fly and different things like that. So
it's like a platforming puzzle game.
Not so much puzzle. It's just straightforward side scrolling
puzzle because you would say there's a door, and to get through the door, you have to suck up a guy that has apple powers, and you shove the apples on the door, and then it opens the door. Nothing like that.
No. It was really pretty
boring,
pretty basic. I mean, there were walls you could blow up.
Yeah.
But you just had to suck a guy and spit it. When you spit him out, it was a star, and it would hit it and explode like the wall.
Oh, okay.
But there was no real puzzle pattern. It was just straightforward side scrolling and boss fighting. So like a Mario style, just get you through it, do a little what, and then get done. So,
do a little what.
Yeah. That's my number 2.
Oh, good. Any particular Kirby, or just Kirby the character?
I love Kirby the character, but I mean Dreamland was my introduction.
That's
to
the original?
it on the old brick Game Boy. I remember playing it, and then Kirby's Adventure that came out for NES, and those are really the ones I played. I never played any of the later Kirby's, never Epic Yarn or whatever that is.
Yeah,
I never played those. Just the first 2. That's where I draw my limit, but. Not that say the other ones are bad. I just never had a real need to play these games. Just the originals. I leave my memory at that. No, I'm screaming.
I know you're screaming.
I can't wait to hear what your number 1 is because my number 1 is legit. It's straight up legit. So,
your number 1 is legit?
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what your Uno.
My number 1 was Kirby. I mean, you totally stole my thunder.
All right. Well, that's good number 1.
No. Kina.
Oh, okay. Well,
Kina Ken from
wow. Yeah.
Final Fantasy IX.
You may have me
the more in-depth Kirby, I guess, because
awesome character.
Yeah. So I had Kina on there. So I wrote a little modifier next to all of my choices. So Fallout is a way to survive. Monster Hunter as a buff debuff. So Kina, I just wrote as a finisher. Because when you got an enemy low enough in life, Kina could just straight up eat someone, and then, similar to Kirby, gain their power. Or if not, if they don't have a power that she can take, she would just eat them, and that would be the end of the battle.
Yeah.
But blue magic has always been my favorite thing in Final Fantasy. I think getting to use abilities that the enemy has is always so fun. So. This is probably the coolest way I've seen to get
absolutely
your new powers. It's not just okay, they use the power on you. The blue magic is I learned something.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like it's just so great
She
that
learned through eating.
Kina is belongs to a race of people, the Qs or the something, the Ken something. There's a couple of Kinas out there, like the Kina type people.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They normally stay in swamps and eat frogs, but this is what happens when she gets out in the world, tries new food,
And she has
grows as a person.
And she has a giant utensil as a weapon.
A giant fork, yeah.
Fork as a weapon. It's just great because 9 did things that were so out of the ordinary.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it wasn't like, oh, this is your typical, like, this is, like, when you think of Final Fantasy, this is a setting that you would think of. This is like the epitome of a fantasy-style world.
For sure. Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
the character design and everything. And Kina is a prime example of that. It's just like, we have a blue mage that literally eats people to gain their abilities. It's just freaking brilliant.
And she,
you know?
she has no qualms about it either. She's just like, I'm going to eat that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I loved its personality.
Yeah. Yeah,
So good.
really great. I kind of feel bad that I said that mine was straight up legit because I think you actually made that beat. I completely forgot that, about Kina.
That's right. I was saving the best for last.
Yeah.
Like when you're eating food and you eat all the crap that you don't want to eat first, and then you're left with like all the really good stuff.
Yeah.
Like the cherries out of the fruit cocktail.
Get those broccoli out of the way. I'm going straight for the extra crispy skin.
See, I'm reverse.
Yeah.
I'll eat the broccoli last. And I won't eat the extra crispy.
You're just like, don't want that. Just
Don't need that.
So my number 1 is the original Legend of Zelda.
Uh-huh.
And I did this because of the meat that you would have to use for the dongo.
Yeah.
So I just thought, you know, back in the day, you know, you didn't have any hand-holding in like these retro games. So there were these little hints that like you just have to find a guy, you know, you're just like, okay, how do I get past this? Like what do I need to do? And just one little guy, you know, Dodongo loves meat. You're just like, okay.
Like, that's some great information.
That's really cool. So like,
Yeah.
you know, you go around and you find that there's a shop of a guy that sells literally meat. You're just like, wait a minute. If I buy this and I use it, and then you can use it to get through that area, and I thought it was a brilliant way to use it, non-violence. You know, like it's, you know, instead of just going full on attack, it added that puzzle element to it, and it's like you have to do this to get by it. Like you have to figure this out. So you know, and I remember spending so much time with my brother on this game trying to figure out what the hell are we supposed to do. Like we could not, and it just you had to explore.
And then you're just like, I found some meat.
Yeah.
Somebody said something about someone liking meat.
Yeah, it just came down to exploration.
Yeah.
And like until you just, you know what, like we're missing something, so we have to go and find out all. And then finally we found a guy like, okay, this is cool. Okay, and so that's why I mean just finding that out originally, that having no idea, and it's like, all right, we just had to use food to win over this thing, and I just thought it was so cool. So
yeah, I think it is cool.
Original Zelda.
Yeah, original Zelda. Was it Dodongo though? Wasn't Dodongo the like Triceratops that you had to feed the bombs to?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know either, so I'm just gonna take your word for it.
I never learned the names of the enemies in the Zelda games.
Yeah,
because especially like the ones that shoot like the stones out. Like in the first one, they all have names.
The Octoroks.
Yeah, like I never learned any of their names.
I little bit of listener tidbit or whatever. I had a wardrobe in my bedroom as a child, and I lived on the bottom bunk. And I would draw in marker all the things from Zelda and the Mario games.
Nice.
Like all the enemies and all the items and stuff like that. I would draw them on the back there, so I like learned all their names and stuff.
Nice.
Because back when games came with manuals,
yeah.
As a kid, I would sit there when I couldn't play the game and I would read the manual, and then I would draw the things from the manual on my furniture.
And the cool artwork and everything that came in. He's like, oh, this is cool. I can draw this, you know, and yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Problem with this month, it just makes me so hungry. Like meatball sub hungry.
Meatball sub hungry?
Yeah. We're having meatball subs again for dinner.
Okay.
We had it last week. I'm going to have it again. Because why not?
No. Yeah, you're right. Why not? Why?
So do we have any, what's it called?
Honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions.
Yeah, I do have one. I think I've probably mentioned this character before. I've definitely mentioned this game before, but Chrono Cross had a playable turnip in it.
Nice.
So similar to the Chrono Trigger, where Frog is like a frog, but he's a knight. Turnip was a turnip, but he was also a knight.
Nice.
That's a really cool character. He's my Skelly, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He's like my favorite little quirky,
nice,
weird character in Chrono Cross. I want to play that again. I know it's on the PSN, PlayStation Network, and I know I own it.
Yeah.
I just haven't delved in.
Huh? We'll have to dual stream it.
Does
same time.
PlayStation 4 have the built-in PSN network? You can buy all the PSN classics.
I believe so.
So I'm gonna have to get one of these days.
Yeah, I know I have it on my PS3. I have Trigger and I have Cross.
Moblin was the thing that you give the meat to.
Moblin. Okay.
Remember, he looks like a dog, but he's like a goblin.
Yes. I don't know why I thought the Dongo.
The Dongo is the guy that you feed the bombs to. So, as a guy who eats bombs,
okay,
or doesn't like to eat bombs,
he's like,
that's nasty, bro.
Let me have another one. No,
I still don't like it.
One more. Oh shit! Boom. Good stuff. My honorable mention.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
When you're in Walmart,
yeah,
and you're in that cafe,
yeah,
and you had to eat food,
yeah,
and you said, "Hey, this is really good food," and you got that ticket that allowed you to go and use it to buy like pharmacy coupon or whatever that
the
you got
pharmacy coupon. That's right.
So,
didn't you get wasn't the pharmacy coupon like used to buy X-Lax for the guy that was in the John?
I believe
that was taking forever.
Yeah, so it was like a long little chain. Walmart was so interesting.
If they don't do it in the remake,
they have to.
Oh,
I will. Yeah, I mean, if they leave out anything in the Walmart, I will lose my mind. That was one of the most fun parts of the game. It was like not necessary, but it was so fun. All the little mini games you had in there. Plus, they have to because that's where you get. And the ultimate one of Tifa's ultimate weapon.
They can stick that anywhere.
No, they can't. They can't. It has to. You have to be
you
able
want
to
it
go
in
back
that little arcade thing
that you get at the end. You have to go back after it's been destroyed.
Is there a machine gun on the ceiling?
Yeah. When you go the first time, when you try to go, it's like, no, we don't need this now. Guess I'll come back later.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII.
So good list. This is good. Good uses.
I think that it's food, useful food in video games, right?
Yeah.
I think we covered it all.
Yeah. I don't think there's any other game out there worth
Health
mentioning.
regain, debuff, enemies, playable characters, finishing moves.
Yeah. I literally covered the whole gamut of it. Yeah. I mean, I can't think of anything else. But if our listeners can, I encourage them to let us know.
To tell us on the Facebook page.
Yeah. Facebook page, Twitter, shoot us an email at gmail.com. And
other stuff that Matt can't remember.
I can't remember. Go to Geek Street Station. We're on there with our sister podcast, Thirsty Gamers, and For Geek's Sake, we have stuff going up every single week. So
that's right.
And be sure to check me out tomorrow. I start my live streaming career. Very excited. Monday through Friday, I'll be streaming 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. You can find me MattyJ311 on Twitch. So go ahead and give me a follow, and you can watch me play some games, old school, new school, a little bit of everything. So it's going to be an interesting journey.
Hooray!
Yeah. So I'm very, very excited.
I'm excited for you. I'm going to purposely leave my account on at your page, so you'll have a follower even though I'm not there.
6 months later, still got that one viewer.
I got one guy in there.
Is there anything you want to say before we cheese and rice it out of here?
I'm really thinking about eating the other half of that calzone I got.
I think I'm going to rub your belly while you're eating it.
I think that would make me regurgitate.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
All right,
and I'll let you know if he spews all over my kitchen counter next week. See you later.